It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared. And sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill God Welcaome. But instead, I became part of their story.
Hello and welcome to Divinity 2. You can add marks to your map. Yeah, sure I can. We're playing with this guy. His name is Ifan ben-something. I'm gonna read it in a second. Ifan ben-Mezd. I did like his name. He's a shadow blade and he knows necromancy. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. Of course we will loot everything we can find. Grinning Skull.
Nice haircut, Smiley.
Yeah, he's not a very polite person.
Nice haircut, Smiley.
An ancient book. Hands off.
There. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs.
Okay.
You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Look around warily and wonder what damnable dungeon you ended up in.
Dungeon? You have the gall to call my laboratory a dungeon? Oh, I'd be quite annoyed with you, if you didn't look so honestly perplexed.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
I shall take my leave then. Actually, yeah.
Bloody murder. Looks like someone's hit the Hall of Echoes a little early.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
But you were his captor, not his protector.
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of...
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
That's a trick I still haven't learned.
I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
I'll let you know if I find anything.
Thanks. I just want to catch whoever did this before they hurt anyone else.
Thought you could touch it. I don't know. A book. Let's take a look. A woman from Driftwood, with nary a care, offered her kisses and answered my prayer. I accepted her gift, and then, to my dismay, a spider she was, and I, her buffet. Once the fasting was over, she licked her red lips. I rose from the floor, still coming to grips. She thanked me for the coming and bade me farewell. My prayer indeed answered, though I did well.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with you.
Ben-Mezd, your target is none other than Divine Bishop Alexandar, leader of the Divine Order. Get close and show our benefactor why the Silver Claw is the most feared amongst all the lone wolves. For some aid with your mission, seek Magister Boris of Getho, speak our motto, Gertrude Dumar, to identify yourself. May the moon light your tracks, Ruse and Lon.
As soon as we get to Fort Joy, it'll be time to have words with this Boris fellow. The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
Okay, we can turn on and off lights, that's cool. I can sit on chairs. Lovely. Okay, let's get rid of that. I don't think I need it. Ooh, a helmet. Some anti-barrels and some gold. And a bedroll. Always nice to have a bedroll. How does that work? Just click and you rest in it? Cool. Let's talk to you.
Ah, there you are. Husband. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
Tell the children they must be mistaken.
How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
True enough.
You presume right.
Okay, do you know anything about the murder that happened on board?
Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Do you want to come with me?
Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it.
Wonderful.
You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
Thank you. Well, at least it's not a one-time use, this thing. Wouldn't make much of a sense, actually. Pain.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that, examining it from every angle. Finally, he pinches your skin, gently tugging at it.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
What's fascinating? Your lack of survival instinct?
Oh no, my instinct to survive is quite strong, as with all mortals. I'm not sure why you would...
Mortals?
Oh dear. I seem to have crossed some cultural taboo. How difficult. You have my apologies, human. Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once.
What's this book you're reading?
I do not believe I've been drawn anywhere. It is a quaint little read, but it has its faults.
Of course it does. Every book does.
It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
Talk about the most recent threat and how the Magisters have been fighting the Void Walk all over the Rivellon.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No, I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
Some things are just not known.
Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
Why are you so curious about the gods?
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond.
Lovely guy.
Less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
What am I meant to be hearing?
The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
The sea sounds angry, like it's trying to capitalize on the ship.
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger. It's
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate. That's all you hear, though. Listen close. There now, just like that. Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back, the other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
What's it supposed to be?
It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been travelling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Very excited to reach Fort Joy, aren't you?
No indeed, boy. But that ain't my final destination.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
It was one of them. I know it.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
Junk.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're
picking us off one by one. Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable.
Well, what have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
The nerve slap away his hand.
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
Yes.
Ah, music to my beleaguered stomach. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
No.
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. I shouldn't be getting my hopes up. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
Yes. I know what perfumes are.
The very basics, then. I suppose that's a start. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you can cook and groom, but you have the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit.
Charming.
Still, beggars can't be choosers. So without further ado, I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave.
I have no interest, thank you very much.
You should probably come to terms with the fact that you've half a mind, full stop. Rein in your impertinence, will you? I'm a fair man, but I won't spare the rod. Anyway, you may leave me for a moment. We'll go over your duties once we reach Fort Joy. Now shoot!
Greasy key.
I know it.
Lucky find.
Yeah, sure.
Junk.
A pocket knife. This tome contains no text, instead sketches of dragons fill over every page. The artist is hardly talented, but clearly enthusiastic. Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. You can never have enough of those, I guess.
Rubbish.
Some garlic, thank you. Hey pup. I wish I could speak with you.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else.
Who are you, by the way?
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
My heart shudders for you.
You better be ready to talk, eh? Name?
Ifan ben-Mezd. Yes, I know, it's hard to pronounce.
Well, you aren't here on my list. Scram, eh? We're trying to catch a killer here.
You one of them? A divine order loyal? They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but make no mistake.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
Paranoid fool.
The Magister starts, recognition growing on his face as he looks right at you.
You look just like...
The Magister's face turns white. He makes a move to step backwards, then stops himself as his hand closes on the weapon at his hip.
It is you. Ifan ben-Mezd. I remember you. You were my captain's commander way back in the war.
The Magister's eyes darken. His face closes over into a cold mask.
I always knew you'd end up down low. Lower even than us nobodies in the rank and file. The higher the climb, the louder the splat when you fall. And Fort Joy, you're about to fall further than you thought possible. And I'll be listening for the splat. Happy landings.
Well, I certainly hope you don't end up dead somehow.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
She shakes her head.
Game for one, I'm afraid. Rolling dice. Deciding fates. Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
I didn't decide that, but whatever.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
She smiles contemptuously.
Just a kitten in a corner, aren't we?
Oh, shut up. Okay, this is empty.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Sneaking successful.
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
I'm fine, thank you.
Glad to hear it. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
Don't you get
seem on edge, officer.
You clearly don't know the first thing about swords.
Murder most foul, and I strongly suspect you know all about it. Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
Pay no attention to a person stealing your foods and stuff.
This again.
Also, what chest?
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Well, that was easy.
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
Her name is Windigo. Yeah, why am I surprised?
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
Yes, sir. And turn to leave. This murderer must be brought to justice.
By all means, do as the officer says. But you had better hurry, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the void welcome will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Oh, she knocked me down. Not much of a battle, really.
What's happened?
Gold! Isn't that lovely? I don't like how this ship looks though. Wooden targ. Mallet and a ship. There you go, double dagger. And a helmet. How can you see anything from that? Yeah, let's go and try to wake up everyone, because I'm pretty sure they're all dead otherwise, and only the companions will remain alive. Keys, cool. Yep, you're alive.
Oh! What happened? Must have been the turnips.
Get up, now.
You dare strike a royal? Ooh.
The lizard's eyes close as he slips into unconsciousness.
A lizard. Pirate man?
The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled around him. He is stock still. You can't see if he's living or dead.
He's fine.
No, not the final dark. Not yet.
You'll get her out of here.
It's no use. Your words do not seem to reach her.
The dice roll darkly. They're rolling for me.
Oh, she's probably gonna die. Some raw meat. Can keep that. What happened to you two? A tooth. A crossbow. Some gold.
The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She's breathing normally, but her eyes are wide open, like those of a corpse. Dark, greyish-black clouds swirl through them.
No.
Yeah, she doesn't want to get up. Where's the elf? Or just a bite? Is that a doggy here? Yeah, it's dead. Sad. Chunk of flesh. Elves can eat limbs and experience memories of person whom the limbs belong to. Ah, that's quite original for an elf. Not just pointed-eared, glorious, immortal beings.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound.
Ah, it's still your book. The Source King insists that there is no magics too foul, even those that will block or even remove the source within an individual. I delight in his madness, his innovation and manipulate all which we once believed. Immumbo. He provides all manner of experimental subjects. The text beneath lists series of hexes and materials acquired from muting sources. Some of those objects are cycled in black ink and announced as following: helm, collar, mask. With question marks.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
Well, since I am already naked. A resurrection skull and a pier. So what is this? Everything is burning. I see no problem here. Oh, bloody hell. Thank you. This doesn't seem to be helping me. There you go. This way. Broken source color. Hey pup, you alright? I can't speak with him because I don't have pet pal, which I totally should have.
God damn it. Need to get off this wreck. Quick. Oh, damn. That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Thank the gods! By divine grace, what was...
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer!
The Magister's companion doesn't blink, frozen in place at the sight of you.
Motion and direction around you. What's going on here? What are they seeing? Think of your core. You can help them if they can get rid of the stupid device off you.
Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't. Some crazy banshee comes screaming through, and now we got void bugs swarming up top. Sorcerer mutiny!
He whispers loudly to the other Magister.
Don't just cower there, Rix. Take out your blade.
Rix grabs his sword, which shakes in the rhythm of his trembling hand.
Magister Sylvan is injured. She asks you to go find him.
Siran will have to wait. We're not going deeper below decks. Not now. Go then. Get out of here.
What a lovely bunch of dorks. Sourcerers monarch once performed great deeds across the land, and this first days Bacchus did so. From the island he called home, but in time, as it is true to so many things, he became insignificantly corrupt by source. So great was his greed, and his fears that crafted a soul forge with his twin, Cassandra. Once the ritual was complete, Bacchus turned her into an undead leech, so she, and thus he, might live forever. The source hunters, violent though they were, could not have foreseen Bacchus' resurrection at the hand of the code that immaculates. We owe our very lives to two more of the very order. First fought to bring Bacchus Rex to justice. The Source King is dead, yet his monuments still dot the land, a chilling but necessary reminder of his legacy, a cruelty, greed, and arrogance. First of Alexandar, imposing, previous and sculpture from the Bishop Alexandar Divine Order. Seems to have carved a hurry, trembling hands. Why would you even have something like that then? Can't walk with that thing on. Shabby letter. This letter contains a set of instructions for transporting sorcerers to a place called The Joy, but someone has inked the angry black line from top left to bottom right. Can I use the quill as a sword? I mean, a pen is mightier. Journal, come on. The sarmed ink makes the journal difficult to read, but you managed to make out much of the last entry. That looks comfortable. Repair hammer. You found the repair hammer. Now you can press the right mouse button on any broken equipment and select repair. Improvised staff and sheet of paper. That's a lot of things I need to sell. Resurrection Scroll, that's cool. too much. Okay, let's get rid of that. Yeah, I want to get rid of it. There we go. Source Hound.
Long before this thing snaps into splinters.
And what do we find? Mug of water, gold, and my first bow.
Great God, something's pounding on the hull!
Did you just say something? Magister the swordsman. Magister's theory. Hey, Fane.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular, and a glorious jewel sits in the middle of his forehead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia, muttering to himself.
No. What damn fools record knowledge on a pulped tree? It catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist acid. No wonder they're so bloody ignorant.
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first time.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
There's something familiar about the way he holds the book.
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from page to page.
Yes, indeed. It's the look of someone that wants to read the bloody book he's holding. Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboats to flee to.
Oh, you're the elf, right. I couldn't possibly tell from your voice.
Please, I was no more an elf than you are those rags you're wearing.
Oh, wonderful.
I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed me to take that primitive form. A mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little scene. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands.
That seems quite sensible.
Indeed. Just as sensible as getting off a sinking ship and leaving a fellow to his business. I would say good day, but it seems quite likely that you're about to die a rather terrible death, so...
The skeleton shrugs casually and returns to his book.
Do you want to help me survive? I have nothing against trying to survive by myself and all, but just ask him. A note. Skull marked key. Lone Wolf contract, some notes. This letter contains a set of instructions for transferring sorcerers to place code the Joy. Okay, we read that. My sweet Stephane, as I write this letter, we near the island. By the time the O delivers us, it will be but a day away. I've heeded Alexandar's orders, just as you said I should, but I think Lucian often would be driven. After down this, would he have blessed us as we ripped children from their mothers? Can this be the only way? I feel cold inside and out. Of one thing I am certain, your arms will warm me when I find you again. With love, Rix. Okay, we read that as well. Dead fog barrels have been locked down in the storage. Stay out. You and Rix both. If anyone starts fooling around down there, it will be lights out.
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You recognize the symbol immediately for what it is, a warning of death fog within. You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. The color, it doesn't budge. The door groans open, but an ashen shadow clouds your mind.
Experience!
I need to get out of here now.
In a moment. Not certain if that is going to be extinguished by the water. Caring too much? Get rid of something. A box. It weighs heavily on your shoulders. Nothing else here. Every bit of coin help. And another pier. It's an unknown item, a pier. Yeah, that just happened. Anyway. A firebow's crow. Move back and let them come to me. Oh, you just got yourself poisoned. Yeah, keep doing that. Seriously? That was easy enough. Is that gonna wash out the audio? I don't think so. Maybe. Just maybe. Some gold, thank you very much. And some more gold, an empty potion, and good. Hey guy, aren't you quite big? And that's what we call sneaking like a solid snake.
Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
Said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
The ship is trouble beneath the fleet, but the kid's right. Say you'll go back there and help the survivors.
Thank you, thank you, thank you! There's a ladder right over there. We can go straight down.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
You're already in a boat.
Heads will you big blast.
If you can walk, get yourself. Wait! Void woken!
Okay, he's asleep.
I thought Void Woken was supposed to be scary.
Let the games begin.
Read the water for me.
They who are about to triumph. Hurts, doesn't it?
These beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
Nice. That's on you, by the way. You shouldn't have woken him.
We need to move. Let's not carry this old stuff.
Away. The sea's hungry. We don't have much time.
Magister with him. Let's go talk to him. See if he's alive. Also, stuff from places. Can use the blood to conduct electricity, I believe. It doesn't say anything about him except what kind of a person he was. No lore, no nothing. Something I quite miss from those abilities, but whatever, let's move and speak with this one, Magister Sound.
I hear something. It's...
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound.
Some way to help?
With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth, soaked with some kind of strong-smelling tincture.
Take the cloth only tied to a wound, to try to steam the bleeding.
Blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister C1's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror.
Hold the cloth tighter to the wound.
It's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. C1 clutches your arm, her eyes locked with yours. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder.
Continue holding cloth.
C1 struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly. The ship lets out a deep groan, then cracks.
It's ripping the ship apart.
It's the Kraken. Sorta. Tentacles.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
That was very cryptic. Okay, out of all the characters here, I actually like only the skeleton, who is not here. And I think the singer. Yeah, I read this guy's bio, it's nothing special and all. But since you could customize the person you choose whatever way you can, like no reason why not. Also, his voice was better than any other pre-recorded voice. So anyway.
So the Order's right about one thing. We attract Voidwoken. Am I the lone survivor?
Oh, aren't you special? Why would you be the lone survivor? You're the only one who didn't make it to the boats.
Any man who put his likeness in stone is a fool in my book.
Or Joy Beach. Okay, let's seek out anything we can. There is someone here. Damn, there were children on that boat.
To want 100 generations gazing at your own face.
Not that I care about the children. I mean, we are all in the same boat, so of course they were horrible, horrible people from the day they were born. Well, that's all I can take from that. Fitness increases your damage. Huh. Okay, let's talk to Team. Tam.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
His parents taught him well. You should stay away from me.
Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
Must be. Why else would I be here?
The child screws up his face and looks at you hard. He lifts his mirror up to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
Charming little guy.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy.
They may well be both wrong and crazy.
Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where anyone goes. They know we can't leave the island, and it's a lot nicer out here than outside.
It's not safe here. My ship was attacked by White Walker, not far off the shore.
But you didn't die.
I survived. You should find somewhere safe to go.
There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean.
Oh.
You'll see.
Okay. Why would he be scared? If I'm not scared, he should
Imagine
be.
having the gall to want 100 generations gazing at your own face.
A bowstring, we can actually create a bow, I guess. I think we can actually experiment with recipes and get whatever you can. Which is awesome. Great, go! Throw it in the water. And now I can't get it back. Sticks and stuffs. Thank you for saving.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. They made it to shore.
Oh. Oh well. Okay. Sneak attack.
I'm ready. Hurts, doesn't it?
Vampire. Level 1. Okay, there's one of them dead. Okay. Try to inspire myself. Inspiration!
I thought these bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. The face is familiar. What's left of it? He was aboard the ship.
Okay, I did level up just now. Let's see what we can have. Persuasion, maybe. Lore Master. Let's go with one persuasion. I can't take it back, so I should be careful. Skills. We have 1 point in Necromancer. 1 available point. Should I go on Necromancer or Scoundrel? Let's go on Scoundrel. Okay, and here? Oh, I do want 1 fitness. We have 2 available in fact, so let's have you. And raise my constitution a little bit. Or my wits. Let's go with constitution. Okay, my vitality 75. It's good vitality, I guess. All's empty.
Rubbish.
Die by the sword. Is that a recipe book? A word of advice to the badly armed. Tie a knife or sheath, if that's all you have, to a stick or a branch. I've got a sword of swords. Well, we do have a sheath. Let's take a look if we can actually use that. I do need a knife for this ability though. Requires a dagger. Pocket knife. Or a map, crafting panel. Weapons. Knife on a stick, we need a rope. Short stick, we have that. Any knife. Knife on a stick. We don't have a rope. We do have a shift though, so that's okay. Now you might be wondering, why do you have a bucket on your head? Why not? It's a bucket. It conceals my identity. Well, there's someone here. Ah, let's push him off the cliff.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red colour. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep.
Well, I'm happy you survived at least.
The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
He actually has a shield, apparently.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hole. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Well, thank you for that.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Nevertheless, one good turn does deserve another, so as far as the whole slave business is concerned, let's just forget about it. You may as well have your freedom.
Oh yes, freedom. I can do so much with it right here.
Now then, if there's nothing further...
Okay.
He watches you depart without a word, then turns back to face the sea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's amazing. Sorta. There's a shell, some
junk,
penny mushrooms.
a black cat. Maybe my luck is about to change.
To the worse, apparently. It's a black cat.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity.
Acute.
Its eyes clear, and it shakes its head, confused.
I wish I could speak with people. I mean, animals. I can't speak with people. Most of the time. Though I have absolutely no idea what they are saying sometimes, so... Hello, chest. Junk.
I wonder where this leads.
A barrel filled with nothing. Wooden take. Can we equip you? No. Don't like this shirt. Too common for me. Equipment. Can you show me everything I have? When you say something is useless, bowstring. Alright, we can create a bow if we wanted to. Whose barrel? Leave it here. Hello there, undead. Fane.
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it sank. He's still not wearing his mask. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling at the skin of its face. Bugger.
How on earth am I supposed to... Oh. Perhaps...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor?
What are you doing?
Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh, it's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected.
Well, thank you for that. Why are you in a prison island?
It seems the human that stole my mask was rather more resourceful than I gave her credit for. I chased her here, but she rather seems to have given me the slip. Thus...
He turns back to the body, prodding at its face cautiously.
Anything valuable there?
Oh yes, an exceptionally common but exceptionally valuable commodity. A face. A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull.
Well, you have my sympathies.
I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Never seen a skull like that.
Carved? Please. You hardly think I am one of your breed, do you?
You're not a human. You're just as tall as us. Elves are taller, and so are wizardmen.
You have never seen anything like it because you have never met anyone like me. Simply put, I am an eternal, and you are not. You have my sympathies.
Noted.
Indeed, no one seems to have the good taste to be. My people are rather absent. At least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers.
Where does he think these people are? In some other realm?
Ah, well, that is the curious thing. They are clearly absent from this world, and yet they are everywhere. Every one of your races resembles them in some manner, and the statues you have built to your gods look remarkably familiar. Perhaps my people have ascended to some new realm, or perhaps your gods are merely a folk memory. Regardless, they are not here, but I will find them, wherever they are.
Why are you still here?
Well, that hardly seems relevant, but if you must know, I was inconvenienced for a time.
You mean dead?
Several centuries, in fact. Or perhaps millennia. One tends to lose track. I was sealed in a tomb for daring to be curious about the world. It seems our king did not agree that the universe should be explored to its full potential.
Okay.
Perhaps I should thank him. It seems I was spared whatever happened to the others. I wonder if flowers would be appropriate.
Flowers? Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, if she or he likes flowers.
I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous.
Great.
You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful.
Very well.
Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in, well, all things.
And very modest, apparently.
Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours?
Oh, a wizard sounds right. I am a wizard myself. Sorta. I'm a necromancer.
I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get on? There is rather a lot to see.
Okay.
Splendid. Very well. Let's be off.
Poisonous arrowhead, gold, orange juice, mug of wine, an empty potion bottle. Yeah, he's poisoned, that means that he will heal. Yeah, let's climb this place. Oh, by the way, I did level up. Does that mean that you're level 2 as well? Yes. All of your things need to be hidden, otherwise people might attack us. Okay, I keep in my helmet though. Water arrowhead, water arrows, stained pants, and fatigue. Ooh, finally. Now all I need is some pair of good boots. Okay, I don't want to go through the poison, so does my cat, I believe. Which we are gonna get rid of, it's a cat. We don't need it.
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. You peer behind it and find a small human child holding her knees and trembling.
Gently ask the shaking chair what's wrong.
The child quiets and seems comforted by your presence. She looks up at you with curious eyes.
Do you need a hug?
The child nods and reaches up to you. As you hold her, her breathing grows slow and calm. Her wet face is damp on your neck. She lets go and looks up at you with a small smile.
Thanks. You're nice. You can have this. I found it outside, but I can't read it yet. That's next year, and then I'll learn it.
She nestles back into her spot on the ground and starts tracing figures. A little family in front of a house in the dirt.
That's nice. Are you her mommy?
Go! Get out! You are not welcome here. Go, man-pig!
There you call me man-pig again.
This is my mistake. You are no pig. I am no bull. Please, just leave us.
There's a minor healing potion there, some apples and stuff. Whisper wood. Maybe we can use that. What do we have here? Turtle. Yay, I like turtles. And since the game just saved, I assume we're gonna have to fight them. Fish. Can I speak with you, turtle? No. Okay, leave him for now. We'll come back later. Resistance to fire, resistance to water. Okay, we're chained together once more. Let's keep moving. How do I get there? I'll find a way, sooner or later.
I've spotted something.
You did? Where? Hello.
I don't have the right tool for digging.
That might be necessary. A flower! Yay! I know what that's about. There you go, a shovel. Exactly what I needed. A dusty pouch. It has a leather armor, daring bow, and some gold. Okay, now all I need is some boots.
I've spotted something.
A zombie? Well, that's nice. Let's try to backstab him.
Glory is mine.
And don't poison him. Can you make him fall asleep? Yes. Interesting. Nice.
Prepare yourself.
Thanks for that, by the way. Oh, there's water nearby. Let's go there and rest. The Red Priest, and you are Trace. Let's talk to Trace. That's a lot of shells. A needle. Trace, I remember you.
It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me.
Sure.
This again.
What is it, garbage? Bottle of water, bottle of beer, and a tongue. A repair hammer. Can't use that as a weapon. Why not? It's a hammer. Oh, you can have a staff if you want. Okay, you don't need it. Pocket knife. Oh, I have a bow. The core form isn't as good as I thought it would be.
Junk.
Magisters.
Rubbish.
Then stop picking rubbish. Right. There we go. We're keeping the shovel though. Also, let's see. Yeah, it's empty. Okay.
Alexandar.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
One would wonder how big their tongue is. I mean, look at how huge that thing is. It has a big neck.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Presume the wizard's treachery has been great. Our regime is run by priests of tyranny. No, we are not gonna make ourselves known.
Bishop Alexander idly glances in your direction, curiosity on his face. Recognition seems to flicker in his eyes for a moment, but then he shakes his head and looks back towards Dallas.
He looks at your head. Says, I know that bucket. It belonged to the head of a different person. 300, oh my, how am I gonna take you on? 500, oh, yeah, he needs to die somehow. Huh, he also has a car.
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years.
If your father was the previous bishop, does that mean bishops can have children, and also do their children inherit them? Is the Gaukin succession? The oldest child gets the most of it?
The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste.
Why did you do that?
Will be needed elsewhere. Exactly. Didn't I?
Right, so, crafting panel. I do believe we get some recipes for him. Can I create anything? Yes. Dwarven Mask of the Shapeshifter. Ripped off Dwarven Face and Sorcerer. Elven Mask of the Shapeshifter. Sorcerer. Ripped off Elven Face. Ooh, do we have a face on you? Well, say something.
The lizard Magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
These Magisters are almost as vicious enough to join the wolf. No, don't say that. Leadership means marking your territory. Now we know who the real leader around here is.
These creatures are so prone to violence. Naturally, the weaker specimens suffer.
Yeah, that's what I said. You can't actually use the face. Right, it was a wizard man, not a face. Oh, not an elf. So, can I create a mask from whatever I got here? Makeshift wand, we don't need that. Armor. Mask of the Shapeshifter. Any human mask of the Shapeshifter, any dwarven mask of the Shapeshifter, and Sorcerer, we don't have that. Ripped off lizard face, okay. So it requires face either way. Ah, a chest. Mage's Bounce. Decaying Touch Scroll, and cool. Let's actually learn that the Decaying Touch, that's something I might use. Combine, send to Fate. Add to wares. Cast spell, combine with. Why can't I learn this? Well, that's not to Neverwinter, you could learn from scrolls there. Not all scrolls, just your level scrolls and not the ones opposite of your school of magic. So that's awesome. Hey Trace. She's fine. Anyway, I think I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you all for joining me, and I'm gonna see you all next time. Goodbye.